Good evening, everyone. Sorry for the slight delay. We've decided to get all of the technical problems up front and out of the way tonight. As it happened, I was stuck in traffic. As anyone will know, living in Cambridgeshire at the moment in the UK, it's an absolute nightmare travelling anywhere north of Cambridge at the moment. Like, literally. The A14 is in pieces. There's traffic lights everywhere. And if you're travelling out into the fens, forget it. It's awful. So I can only apologise. It's partly my fault for being late. So I've done no preparation. I've literally been stuffed in front of a microphone and told to crack on. So that's what we're going to do. We're just going to get on with proceedings. So last night there were a few technical problems, and we are very sorry for them. We had one issue was the permissions for some of the code was incorrect, and that's our bad. So the robots were just sitting there quite happily going, yep, what would you like me to do? Without having any access to the code. So we're sorry about that. And Enigma turned out that your robot was wired wrong. So that's our bad as well. These are prototypes. These were the ones that we were driving around at shows and things. So we would have thought we'd have noticed, but clearly we didn't. So that's our bad as well. So we're going to rerun you tonight. You'll be coming up in the Monster Borgs for the second lot of competitors. Ooh, whilst I catch my breath as well, I'm going to find my spin view thing. I think I have all my entries ready. Are they ready? They are in the right order and everything. Clearly Aaron and Tim have been sorting things out whilst I've been waiting in traffic and screaming at traffic lights. So without further ado, we're going to crack on with tonight's competitors. So first up, we're going to go back to the Yeti Borg class, so the slightly smaller robots that I showed you yesterday, to kick off with Bebot, who are a robot team from New York, new to the series this year, so I don't know very much about you. I'm just shuffling my papers to try and find out more about you. It's obviously from New York. They've got the yellow-bottomed robot tonight, apparently, although that's a black logo on top. It'll have a yellow bottom. And they're racing tonight for the first time, so good luck. Hope your testing goes well. And we'll read more about you guys shortly. Looking forward to seeing how you get on. So the fastest lap time we had last year with these Yeti Borg robots was about 24 seconds, 24.2 I believe, was Enigma's best time last year when they were racing the Yeti Borgs. So that's kind of the standard you're aiming for, so hopefully we'll get close to that tonight and we'll see how you do. Tim is shuffling with a printer behind me, if you can hear clattering. I don't know what he's doing. Are you going to hold up signs? Tim is going to write some signs and hold things up for us as well, which is absolutely brilliant. So we're all going to get to see Tim holding up a sign, much like I did last night in the middle of the problems that were happening.
So I've got to ask you this first.
You've got to ask me a question. And Tim's going to ask me a question. So we're going to wait a little bit further. So I'm going to, keep the tension building here with Bebot there ready on the start line. Our number 71 robot, Yeti Borg, the smaller one of the two robot classes that we have going. Tonight, if you're new to Formula Pi, the idea of tonight is to give each of the racers a chance to test their code in the real environment. So we give them 2 minutes to start the code up on the robots and get going, and then we'll start the light sequence. Then they get a further 2 minutes to go around the track as much as they possibly can. The logs are recorded in each of the robots, and then this code is then sent back to them afterwards in the logs so that they can see how well they did in the real environment. So we've got 2 of these sessions coming up. There's one this week, there's one next week before we start racing properly on the 8th of May, when you'll have 5 robots racing up against each other autonomously from all over the world, which is awesome. So keep an eye on the @FormulaPi_ hashtag handle on Twitter and follow the Formula Pi hashtag so you can keep up with what we're doing. We post on there regularly. We also post from Pi_Borg. Make sure you get the underscore. Because there's quite a grumpy Mexican on the end of Pi Borg, which is something you really don't want to hit. So Tim's now holding a piece of paper up for me. Should we delay by half an hour, i.e. 6:30 BSC start, from now on? Answers in the chat, please, if you heard me going for the side. Should we delay this to 6:30 proper? Because I know that a lot of people were saying that they're commuting home, you're having your dinner, you're going out. It's kind of that transition time in the UK. We didn't want to go too late because we've got homes to go to. You'll be at home nice and comfy, and we're still sat in a cold office in Cambridgeshire. So I'm asking out loud to all the people who are watching right now, should we move this to half an hour later than the 6 o'clock advertised start? I guess so, if you want to. Answers on a postcard, I guess. So we're ready to go, I believe. I am going to radio up to Aaron to get him to start the light sequence. So Aaron, would you start the light sequence, please? as last night, I was the owner of the radio. Here we go. So green, red, green to start, and then on the second green, the Bebot robot should get away from the line, and they're off. So the robot from New York has got away cleanly. Little bit of movement there on the straight, trying to find its way, but it's got its way around the corner. First time. Oh, it appears the timer's not working. Oh no. So I'm hoping that's just a technical glitch. This is dreadful. I'm so sorry. We're just a complete mess. The timer's not working. So I'm not sure if this is an issue. They're looking like they're making some pretty good lines though. I just don't have any reporting on screen. So I'm not sure if we should do a restart or whether we should... How's it going? Tim is feverishly tapping away at the computer on the other side of the room now. He's come down from the track. This is ready. So I think Aaron's going to catch the robot as it comes by, and we're going to do a restart because that's not being timed. Am I correct in that assumption, Timmy?
That's correct.
Well, there we go. Again, another technical... We'll get there in the end, everyone. We will get there in the end. So I can hear radios twittering in the background and listening to Timmy. He's now taking over the timer position now. So Tim's down here. Oh, there we go. So we're just testing it, making sure it works. That appears to work.
I don't remember how long it takes to start, but it should put out a message on the studio screen.
I can now confirm that I can see the timer, if that helps Tim at all. Oh, patient stuff. So going back to what I can see on screen, everyone says 6:30 is good for us. I'm a daily. Hello, good to see you. He says he's happy with any time.
Now ready.
So Tim has now reset the timer. Also, Tim, as an aside, may I have the keyboard over here if the cable is long enough? So we're all still testing. We're all still trying to get used to the systems we've got in place here. This is all kind of newish again to us. I mean, obviously we've done this before, right? So Timmy's trying to work out how to find a USB cable now. Do you need a hand, Timmy? No, he's silent. He's just silently cracking on with the keyboard. So yeah, we could move it for later, which I kind of guess is good. It might mean that then we wouldn't be late, and as it stands, we're probably actually going to start pretty close to 6:30 anyway. So there we go. Is that my thing now? Am I done?
You are done.
Excellent.
You're ready to go.
Good. So
Okay, we are ready for the lights when you are.
excellent. I can hear Aaron chattering away to Tim now on the radio, which hopefully I'll get back because then I get my feeling of security. Tim's pointing.
Move that camera.
There we go. Oh, I get control of the cameras as well if I want them.
Yes.
Oh, this is exciting. So we might get some really wacky camera angles like you do in F1 now, like slanty on the track and pointing up someone's nose. Can we have that? Is that possible?
We can.
We want a remote control camera for me, really. Not that I want more to do, because crikey, that was bad last night. So much to do, and too much to do tonight. I was doing quite well, except Tim's now writing on the keyboard.
Giving you a camera angle.
So that flicking of the camera was Tim actually writing on the keyboard with a pen to show me the camera buttons, because then I'm not feverishly pressing random things. So now I've got imagine the scene here. I've now got 3 keyboards, 2 screens, a microphone, about 20 pieces of paper, a bottle of alcohol-free beer. Don't drink in robot, kids. And I don't know where I am because I've just got out of my car.
Would you like a light sequence start?
No, well, yes, and then I'd like the radio back, please, and I'd like you to go back upstairs if that's all right.
You can have your radio back.
Excellent.
Would you like to do?
I can do the honours. Are you okay going upstairs?
Yes.
Okay, so we can hear Timmy as reascending the stairs. Hello, everyone. Good evening. We'll start for the 3rd time of asking. Let's see if we can get it right. This is, at least it's all going to happen now. Then somebody's giving me a down vote for thumbs. Yeah, definitely. Too right. I would. It's not very exciting with just me chatting. I can just see Tim's gone back up the stairs. Live sequence start, please, so we can get underway racing again. So this is Bebot, as we were, from New York. They're just kicking off now again. Let's see how we go to green. and they're off. Okay, for the second time of asking, Bbot have got away from the line. That looks better than the previous one. A little bit still sinusoidal coming into the first corner. So I'm guessing that is maybe in your code, because it did do it twice. So you got a little bit of work to do on the first corner, but still this is looking good. The splits are looking good. So we were saying earlier 24.2, I think, was the lap record last year set by Enigma. I didn't have it written down. I should do. But this is looking quite good for a first lap. So here we go. 27.1 seconds for the first lap. That's pretty good. 27.2, round it up. That's looking good. And that looked better through the corner that second time. Maybe it's just that first lap. Maybe there's a bit of code that controls the first straight, and then going into the rest of the course is using a different set of functions. Maybe that's something to look at to see how your first straights are going. But this is looking pretty clean and tidy, actually, from Bbot. So they list their coding experience as not very much. I'm recently retired only 3 weeks ago. Oh, congratulations. Welcome to retirement. And this is a great way to fill your time. So they say that they're a mechanical engineer at Corning, or Corning Incorporated. And I've been interested in Python primarily as a hobby. Discovered it 17 years ago. And they've been using it to write some simple machines control scripts in my job. So that's pretty cool. And that's a really good kind of nice hardware job as well. It sounds like it was really interesting. And they're excited to learn more, especially about how the images are processed and enable the bot to know where it is and how to steer. Yeah, cool. And I mean, OpenCV is a great window into that. It's a brilliant window into learning about machine control and machine vision, and combining the two in real time as well. So it's, this is a great place to start. So welcome, Bbot. I hope you're enjoying it. If you're watching, I guess maybe it's lunchtime with you now. So I'm imagining you kind of chilling out and having a nice bit of lunch whilst watching this. That'd be wicked. Not as stressed out as I am from just driving home. So yeah, hello everyone in the chat. I can now see you guys in the chat.
Robot 71, time up.
There we go. So that is time up for Robot 71 there. Bbot, that is looking pretty good on the times. Pretty consistent. So 27.1, 27.5, 28.2, 28.4. They're pretty consistent times. So that's good. That is really good. And consistency is the key in this, because you're going to end up doing a lot of long laps with a lot of people in the way. So it'd be good to get some consistent plane laps, especially for the eliminators when they come up. So that is pretty good. So that's the end of the Yeti Borgs. So whilst Aaron changes over to the next class of robots, the Monster Borg, I'm going to pop up a little image just to explain the difference between the two classes, because we've got two different robots. Number 71 Bbot that you just saw there was racing the Yeti Borg, which is the smaller robot on the left of this picture. They're powered by the Raspberry Pi Zero. They've got a single 9-volt battery underneath them.
Robot 1 has been powered.
Oh, there we go. There's Aaron updating us on what's happening on the track. So the Yeti Borg is the smaller robot, 9-volt battery, Raspberry Pi Zero. So the frame rate is a lot lower. We get around, I think it was 7 to 9 frames. Am I right? I need to read the specs and have them written down. Sounds about right in my head. And then on the right we have the Monster Borg, which is the next class up. Now this is powered by a bigger battery pack. And it uses the Raspberry Pi 3 rather than the Raspberry Pi Zero, so you've got a lot more processing power. It's capable of doing, I think it was 20 to 30 frames a second, Tim said, in terms of processing. Again, I'll get the numbers out and actually read them proper when we do the racing. But this is a much faster, much bigger robot, and this is designed for people who've got a little bit more experience in Formula Pi or a little bit more experience with computer vision, so they can deal with more processing and doing things faster. Last night we had the Halo Goodalls do their first set of runs. And they did really well. I think they had 17.17 was their fastest lap time, which was looking pretty good. So without further ado, we'll crack on with the first of our Yeti Borg, Monster Borg classes for tonight, which sees the return of our reigning champions. Let's get the spin view up and introduce you to Team Enigma from Brentwood in Essex. Now, they were with us last year. They won the series. They ran away with it in the final. Really did well consistently throughout the series. Their first race, they didn't start. They failed to get off the line. But after that, the team were brilliant. They were just spotless and did so well, got through to the final and just cleaned up. So tonight, after they ran last night with our mistakes that we found, we decided to give them another chance tonight to run to see how they're doing. And yeah, hopefully tonight, fingers crossed for Enigma, third time to charm. So I've just heard from Aaron that the start lights are ready to go. So Enigma can get off the start line. So once the spin view finishes, and I've shuffled my papers, I told you I've got a lot of things to do. It's very pressurised. Please start the light sequence so we can get underway. So Adam has been on Facebook, one of the team members of Enigma, and has been chatting away. And yeah, we're like we said last night, we're very sorry. And Enigma's away. That looks very clean and tidy. Look at that. Look how much faster they are. I mean, like I said, I haven't started the timer. Oh no! Oh no! Hang on. I failed at my job now. I didn't start the timer. We might need to have a restart on Enigma. That's my fault because I'm too busy chatting and forgetting what to do.
Leave it running. We'll give him an extra lap.
Okay, so Tim's just going to count the lap times, and we're going to have to guess. This is looking pretty clean and tidy from Enigma, though. You will get some times in your logs, just not from me, because I'm useless. Maybe if I hit the spacebar when they come back around, we'll get a time for the final lap. It's because I've got lots of jobs. It won't be this bad for the real broadcast, promise. We're going to have more hands helping us. We're going to be a bit more smooth, and we're going to be much more clean and tidy. So I'm going to hit spacebar now. Maybe that will click it when it comes back around to the start. Maybe we'll get them a lap, so we'll see a time. So that was my job, my bad. But the logs will still be clean, and they will tell you exactly what's going on. This looks very good from Enigma, very similar to the Haley Goodalls and how they were doing last night. So here we go. We'll see a time now for this last lap, and we'll see how we're doing. So I was incredibly fast through the first split. I think the Haley Goodalls were just under 2 seconds, so just over 2. We'll see how they go, but that looks like good lines around the last corner. Let's see, 15 seconds, that is clearly the fastest lap. Absolutely brilliant from Team Enigma. That is 15.8, that is the fastest lap. And I'm sure the previous ones were probably faster, but we can call that the fastest lap so far. That is absolutely brilliant. Good times. This is really quick. 16.06. So we can pretty safely say that their lap times would have been cracking. But your logs will record it, so it's fine. You're going to get all the data, don't worry. That will not be missed. It's just the screen times that I forgot to press the button. But that's brilliant. That's a blinding time, 15.82. That's really, really good. Oh, a second off there, so that might be just some slower lines, slightly slower lines, but yeah, we'll see how we're doing now. Coming around, that looked like better into the first corner. A little bit of a wide line. And then coming back around the start, 16.2. So that second lap, or third lap, sorry, was a little bit off. I think that's probably your 2 minutes now. I guess we're done. I'm going to radio up. I've recorded 4 lap times on the screen, so I think that probably equates to 1 minute and 20 seconds. So there we go. I think that's probably going to be Aaron deciding to call this a day. Because I think they've probably had their 2 minutes right now. But we do love Enigma. You were one of our favourites last year.
Okay, we'll pick him up this lap round.
Alright, so they're going to pick him up. So I'm going to call that a day. But they're pretty good consistent times. That is 16.2 on the last couple, 16.6. That's looking really fast. There's some good times there. But that's definitely, we can safely say the 15.8 is definitely the fastest lap we've had so far. So good, really good. And Aaron has collected him and nearly fallen over. You can see how much faster those robots are and how much quicker they are for racing with. So when we have 5 of those on the track, it's just going to be mad. It's going to be absolutely crazy. So I'm going to flip over my sheet of things. Next up on the list, we have... let's see. I'm going to... Oh, let's click on this spinny thing. I told you, too many things to do. I've got... just talk amongst yourselves for a minute. So, next up.
Robot 34 is now powered.
So you heard from Aaron there. It is number 34. That is who is lined up on the start line right now. Who is another friend of Formula Pi, who is last season was in the racing as well. Seem to remember last year got through to the Eliminators, I think, if I remember correctly. Yes, Tim's copied all my paperwork across. Next up, we've got Swinders from Waterlooville in Hampshire in the UK. Good evening, Swinders. I can see you're already in the chat. So good to have you with us live as well. Got through to the Eliminators, like I said, last year and did really well throughout the series. I think it was improving constantly all the way through. And did really well. I think was just a bit unlucky not to make it through to the Eliminators. So it's all to play for tonight. Is one of our more experienced competitors. So good luck, Swinders. I'm hoping you're going to be really good with the monsters. Let's see if you can beat the 15.8 that was set by Enigma, and we'll see how you go. So that's it. Out of the spin view, back to the track. I've done my timer. I've got my radio ready. So I'm just going to need like a little shopping list. I can see that ISAS for the win, I'm guessing, is in the chat room. Says, I went into the Monster Series regardless of not having much experience with CV. Fair play to you. Hopefully you'll get some code back to us, and hopefully you'll be in the submission for testing 1, which is next week. I think the submission deadline is Friday, so if you get some code back for us, then you'll get into the testing thing. That's how it works. That's how everyone gets in. So I can see Swinders is ready to go. I'm going to radio up and say that we're ready when you are. Please start the light sequence when you're ready. So I can see Tim there in the background, wiggling around and getting ready for the next robot. So he's changing the lids. Like I said, we only have 2 of them. So we're kind of having to change the lids for each one and change the card. So Tim's in charge. Here we go, light sequence is green, red, green. I'm really struggling with that tonight. And obviously here we go. So, and we're off. There we go. Swinders has said he's got the base code in, so we'll see how it goes. Will be interesting to see, because I've not actually seen any of the timed robots with the base code. So it'd be good to see. And that's totally okay to do. If you want to return the code back to us in its basic format to get into the testing, then that's cool. You just get some logs back. So let's see, 18.3. So you can see the gains that were made by Enigma there for their 15.8 best lap, 18.3 with the base code. So there really are gains to be made by improving the code from the base library that we give you. But still, it's a totally legitimate way to drive. And the thing about having the base code as well, because it's not, I say, 18.3 for the second lap, so fairly consistent. The good thing about having the base code as well is, whilst everybody else is going out ahead of you and doing their own thing, you're pretty much guaranteed to get round, because we've tested this code. We know it works. And yeah, there we go, getting through 18.4, that's good. ISS for the win says, I uploaded the base code too, but for some reason SourceForge downloaded Yeti instead of Monster. I didn't know that. Drop us an email, let us know, because we might be able to run you maybe tomorrow in a private session and then send you a link to the logs. We may be able to do that, so drop us an email, info@Formula Pi. Get in touch, let us know, because we can help you out. We're very happy to help people. We're happy to get involved and give everyone a go. So yeah, please send us an email. 18.53 for Swinders' 4th lap. These are looking really consistent, all in the 18s. 18.7. You can see the time is just dropping off a little bit, but that is looking really good times. It's looking really fast. So let's see, final lap probably, I'm guessing, as to how much time there is left. Let's see how we do. 18.7, 18.6. So it's getting faster. It's getting a bit quicker than the previous one.
Robot 34, time up.
Robot 34, time up. So that's it. Oh no, buffering connection, says Swinders. Are we still on? How do I know? Oh god. Let me check. It says good. I think we're okay. Are we still there? Can everybody see us? It's difficult for me to see because obviously I can't run it and watch it. So Shadowhawk says, is there a list of who's been tested tonight? We should have sent out a list, but I'm not sure if we did. So if I stop the timer, because I forgot to do that. Okay, there we go. I'll wait for Aaron to get off the track. Can everyone still see us? I'm now wondering. I'm getting good reports from within YouTube.
Robot 12 is powered.
So that's the next robot to be up tonight. Amadeus is still on for me. Okay, cool. Thank you for that, because I was in my little box going, I don't know if it's on yet. But we're fine. Okay, good. So next up, robot 12. There is a list. I will go through in a minute who is going to be on tonight. I'm just going to sort out my next few bits and pieces for the next robot, which is, let's save that. Oh, I'm doing the Emacs save. I don't know if that's any good in that. Probably doesn't work. Gonna have to ask for Emacs from the admin to get this sorted, you know, so I know what I'm doing. Right, next up, robot number 12, another friend of Formula Pi, last year's second place team, the Super Ward Brothers from Boise, Idaho. Hello, hope you can join us tonight. I hope you're with us. We've got it a little bit later, so hopefully that'll be better for you guys. It's looking good though for these guys. They came second. Like I said, they were very close to being the best last year. I think the wheels fell off, not literally, but metaphorically speaking, when there was a big crash in the final with those guys, and it caused them to get stuck behind a little bit and lagging. But the Super Ward Brothers were constantly nipping at Enigma's heels all the way through. So hopefully tonight with the Monster Ball code, we can see what you guys are capable of. 15.8 is the Enigma time you're looking for. So let's hope that you're looking so good. Let's start the timing thing. So I've got that sorted. There we go. I'm getting used to it. I need like little buttons, you know, like those Amazon Dash buttons. I need like a whole load of those just in order that I have to just press. And just something simple, especially at the end of a long day where I'm quite tired already. So, Swinder said, back on, did I miss anything? Not much, just setting up a robot, introducing the Super Ward brothers. Your times were very consistent, around the 18.6 mark, I think, towards the end, so looking good. So, start light sequence when ready, please. So coming up later on tonight, after we've done Super Ward brothers here, we have numbers 58, 67, 22, 74 and 66. I don't have names in front of me just yet. They're in my papers in front of me. Oh, here we go. So green, red, green, and we're off. The Super Ward brothers are off. This looks like a good time. 2:09, similar to Swinder's through the first straight there. So this could be quite similar time. I don't know if they've made any edits to the code, and I'm not sure if they're back. There we go. See how we do. Coming around the final straight. Not going to be the time of 15.8 there. 19, so about the same as Swinder's, looking at roughly the same time, a little bit slower. Still a solid first lap. Put times in going very wide coming out of the first corner there. And sticking to the reds. Oh, bit of a fumble there in the middle of the S's while it just managed to gather itself. But you can see it's tracking a lot quicker than the Yeti Borgs. It really does get around the corners quickly. 19.8 there for the second lap. It's looking good for the Super Ward brothers. I'm pleased you're back with us. And this is looking really, really good. Nice smooth laps. Starting to settle down now, I think, a little bit. You can see we've got some little Y-shaped nuts on top of the robots to hold it. 18.7, there we go. This is more like it now. So now in the sort of realms of where Swinder's was hitting the 18 second. So this is looking good. So, see for the third lap. 19.6. Good. These are good times. I mean, we've had, like I said, fastest was Enigma, 15.8. That was on the lap when I remembered to press the timer. So I'm so sorry, guys. But your logs will have everything, so don't worry. The timing thing on the screen is just for us, really, to see how things are going. Now we're looking at 19.6. These are good. These are solid times. Again, consistency is the key in this, especially when we're getting to... the elimination style rounds when they need to do solo runs. This is looking really good for that. So, see how we do. Coming round, last straight, across the line, 16.2. These are really good times.
12, time is up.
So there we go, that's it. That is all of the time that we're going to give to the Super Ward brothers. So hopefully that was what you were expecting, roughly, and was good times for you guys. I'm really hoping. So we'll see you guys next week for testing because you'll be back, I'm sure. So that's Aaron collecting the robot there. I'm assuming he has. I can hear footsteps upstairs. So let me see if I can change the camera angle back to the start so we can see what's happening. So there's Aaron receiving the robot, walking across the track. I don't know what all the buttons are. Have I lost the camera? No, I haven't. There we go. 6. It's the last one you're going to try, isn't it? So we've started up the next robot. Let's kick off.
Robot 58 is powered.
There we go. Number 58 is kicking off tonight. Let's see. So save my thing. Get on with the spin view. So next up, robot number 58, who is Moto Toasty. Oh, great alliteration there. From Sydney, Australia. G'day. Now, Tim will be cheering for you guys very heavily. He's our resident Australian in the house, so he's going to be cheering for you guys. Good luck. These are one of the first teams from the other side of the world, so this is great. You'll be in bed now, though, I'm imagining. Is it 9 hours ahead in Sydney at the moment? So you'll probably be in bed right now, so you can catch up with us on the replay. But hello, great to have you with us. Like I said, from Sydney, which I was in Sydney last summer. It's a lovely city. I love Sydney. So yeah, nice to have you with us. And this is their first time out with the Monster Borg as well. So going in strong, no previous form. So it'll be really interesting to see how you guys get on. So we'll have to wait 2 minutes. I'm going to pop back to the chat. Lots of chat going on tonight. There's a lot of questions going on. I am not the best person to ask for technical. Like I said, for help, if you're looking for help from us and you really need some advice, info@formulapi.com, and that'll get you in touch with Tim and Aaron, who will be more than willing to help over email. I am not the best person, plus trying to run the racing, so I can't really hand out technical advice whilst I'm doing this. Multitasking is not my strong point, as you may have noticed. So Shadowhawk saying, rather hoping to see number 40. Not on my list. They may have run yesterday night. We did run some yesterday. Go back and check testing naught. We ran some of the Yetis yesterday and one of the monsters. From memory, I don't think that was one of the numbers I had on my list. So if not, again, info@formulapie.com. Find out. We will publish some blogs next week in the run-up to testing to get ready. We've been a little bit disorganised in getting up to this. We've had a few other things on, which I'm sure you'll find out about at some day in the future. A couple of big projects that we're going to be really excited to announce in a few weeks. But they've taken up most of our time, so that's why we're a little bit kind of like last minute and sorting everything out. And it doesn't help with me being stuck in traffic either. So let's radio up. Light sequence start when ready, please. So team number 58, Moto Toasty from Sydney, and they're going to be having the green, red, green light sequence. Hopefully they'll get away cleanly. See how they do. And they're off. Good start, very quick start. Little bit of a wobble going into the first corner. 2.5, not so good through the first split, but we'll see how they do for the rest of the track. They could even out. And let's see how they do. I'm sure they'll be asleep right now, so hope you're sleeping well. So we go 16.8 coming into the last corner. 18.7, that's not bad for saying there's quite a lot of sideways movement. It's pretty good. Looking really smooth getting through the S's and looking pretty clean and tidy. A little bit of a wobble there, readjusting for movement. And as you can see, the Monster Balls are a lot more twitchy than the Yetis. So this might enable people to code in proper manoeuvring code. Whoa, pirouette, I'm coming back the wrong way. That's not a 2-second lap or a 1-second lap. That is just a mistake. Nobody's got around that fast. That would be crazy if they got around that quickly. 2 seconds. That's probably their time going backwards and forwards over the timing rig. So we'll have to add that onto the previous lap time, I guess, or this lap. Let's hopefully they can get around again cleanly. 21 seconds. So that'll account for a little bit of stuff. But I wouldn't advise spinning around on the start line. Don't know what that was. That'll be interesting to see in the logs what was going on, what was happening with the robot at that point. We will investigate that and actually put that on the blog. Seeing as you guys enjoyed the technical blog today, we'll put it on there and catch up because that's really interesting. So really tracking quite well down the straight, a little bit left and right. 19.3. So these times are pretty good. So sort of on par with previous Enigma that was running. Maybe a little bit slower on average and with a little bit spinning around, but looking good. This is darting backwards and forwards. It's looking really good. 21.2. So these are pretty good times and not too bad. Still, the fastest time we had there was earlier on was at 15 seconds. I did write it down. I'm throwing papers everywhere now because I'm trying to sort myself out. Look, let's get my papers.
Robot 58, time is up.
So that's it for Moto Toasty. That's your timing done. So we will pass on the logs to you when we're ready. So yeah, Enigma fastest lap 15.8. There we go. That was who did it. Sorry, I'm really not with it tonight. I think it's been thrown into the seat as quick as I can and commentate as fast as I can on everything. It's rather difficult. So let's get ready for the next robot coming up. Number 67. I recognise the number. Someone from last year? No, a new person. Oh, a new number. Cool. So we've got actually quite a lot of people who've gone straight in for the biggest series here, which is pretty brave, unless you're super good at everything, in which, fine, it's all good. So as Aaron sets up the robot, I'm going to get onto the spin view to introduce you to robot number 67, which is, the team name is the IT guy. Oh, I haven't saved it. Oh, this is MTR again. I'm sorry. It's all the saving of things. I just wish I had a button. Oh no, this is my favourite top. I've seen this one in real. It's very pretty. This is the IT guy from Independence in Oregon. So one of the prettiest tops that we've had. It was really sort of pretty splat paintwork on the top. It's very distinctive. So it's going to be very easy to see you, the IT guy. Welcome to Formula Pie. Like I said, from Independence, Oregon. So another American team tonight. Proper continental affair though, with lots of Australians, Americans, Europeans. It's really cool. So list their experience about 5 years of spare time coding in Python and PHP, which is right. I'm just learning about PHP now for work. I'm doing some web-based stuff. So yeah, that's a really fascinating language. I'm really enjoying programming in it. Actually, it's really cool. So glad to have another PHP coder on board. That's wicked. So the IT guy. Next up, let's restart the timers. There we go. We're good to go. So red light on the bottom. It's looking good. let me radio up and ask Aaron, you start the light sequence, please. And we'll see how we go. So new to Formula Pi, completely new competitor. I've got no form. Don't know how they're doing or what their previous is. I may have been a bit quick on the old 2 minutes there. I'm losing track of time and space as it goes. So here we go. Will the next test be timed laps or multiple cars on track? We're asked on the message board, or on the chat, sorry. The next test is going to be time laps again, so here we go. We're going with the light sequence, sorry to interrupt. We're going to kick off. So green, red, green, and then we're away. See how the IT guy, oh god, that's going to be so confusing for me. And it's away. It's good, 2.2, so that's a nice good time through the first corner. See how we get through the S's. And we're looking good here, nice and smooth. This is really smooth driving actually in comparison to our previous driver. 18.5, so good time there. Really smooth, not a lot of sideways movement. We saw previously with Moto Toasty that they were kind of tracking and wiggling a little bit to try and work out where to go, but this is really smooth and really not jarring a lot, which is getting them some good times. I think that's one of the keys as well, is keep it smooth. 18.6, so these are looking like really good consistent times. So the IT guy says, it's my first time entering, so I'll be happy just not to hit the walls. Well, mission accomplished so far. This is 2 laps without hitting the walls, so that's good. It's probably more than I could do, in honesty. But you're doing really well. 19.8, so a little bit slower on that lap time. I think there was a couple of the wide lines going into Headbanger probably slowed you down a little bit there. But the lines are looking pretty good. Kind of staying central to middle, which is pretty good. Bit of the inside line there. Staying pretty mid. So that's, yeah, I think middle lines are good on average. Clearly the green is where you want to be to get the fastest, straightest line through this course. Slowing down a little bit, and they came out of the corner there. That's interesting. Just taking a little bit of the speed off. See, this is slowed down just a touch. It looks it's a little bit slower than before. 21.4. So yeah, that lap was definitely slower. There was a bit of, you can see it's almost slowing down as it comes into the first corner there to actually make the turn. Interesting. It's an interesting strategy. I mean, this is something that I'm now getting used to with the Monster Ball. There's actually a lot more control and a lot more fine motor control that you can do with these robots.
Robot 67, time is up.
So that's it. That's the time. But yeah, like I said, you're getting a lot more fine motor control, so you can actually slow down, whereas the SE balls were a bit more kind of wily in that respect, is that slowing down kind of, you didn't really want to because they weren't going as fast in the first place. But there's some good lap times, so ranging between 18.5 up to 21.4, but always increasing, which is kind of good to see, because that's kind of going with the battery life of the robots, and they'll always get a little bit slower when the batteries get a bit lower. So, with my list of things to do, oh goodness me, I will now get the next competitor up. I've remembered to save it this time. So, let's see what we've got.
Robot 22 is powered.
There we go. So that's Aaron announcing that Robot 22 is the next robot up. And it's another old friend of Formula Pi. It's Raspberry del Infierno, who were one of our finalists from last year. I think they came 3rd overall. Did really well and had a really great season. I think they were just consistent and consistently good. Deserved definitely to be in the final. Really worked hard to get there, and made a great result in the end with 3rd place. In that final, Enigma ran away with it, but there was a lot of crashing in the back, which kind of unsettled a lot of people and slowed a lot of the robots down. But they managed to get out of that and got pretty far in the competition and did really well in that final. So good luck to Raspberry del Infierno. I don't know if George is in the chat. He was last night. So hopefully you're watching tonight, and George and the team are with us from Madrid in Spain. So like I said, good continental, lots of different teams from everywhere. It's really cool. So I'm shuffling in my chair. Reset the timer. I'll get used to this one day. It'll be a lot easier when I go back to my job of talking all the time, rather than having to press buttons and use radios and stuff, which is how it will be when we go to proper racing. Go back and watch the final from last year if you want to see kind of what normal Formula Pi is like, rather than the testing, which is as much for you guys to learn about the track and learn about the robots as it is for us to learn about the setup and, like using YouTube and doing the commentary and changing all the lids and doing all the technical kind of organisational things that you don't see when you're watching it on YouTube. You just kind of like, oh yeah, it's a stream on telly. I stick it on my Chromecast or whatever you have at home. And it's kind of, I never thought about that when I was watching, but there is so much that goes into this, which you don't see. So we appreciate your patience with us learning stuff as well, because it's much needed for us, so we can be nice and smooth for when it does go live finally on the 8th of May. So this is now Raspberry Inferno sat on the grid, waiting to go. I will just radio up and say, light sequence when you're ready, please. So I've got the timer set, I've got my paperwork. There we go. We're all sorted. So, green light, red light, green light, and they're off. There we go. So Raspberry Inferno making their first moves into the Monster Ball class here. 2.31 round. A bit of us again slowing down on the first corner. We saw that previously with the IT guy in the previous test. So it's very interesting to see people are using that motor control and using that PWM to really slow the robots down coming into the corners. 19.16, good first lap. It's looking about the average is about the 18-second, 19-second mark. That seems to be where most people are pitching their robots. Enigma holding the fastest time so far of 15.8 that was recorded by me pressing the button late. I'm sure you got some faster ones in than that. But looking good so far for Raspberry Inferno, 18.8 there, nearly 18.9. Again, slowing down as they go into the first corner before actually making a move to get through the S's. It's going to be interesting seeing how lots of different strategies play out here in attacking this first corner. Because everybody's going to be having something slightly different, either a slightly slow and measured approach, or just going hell for leather and throwing themselves into the corner, elbows out. And it's going to be interesting to watch to see how people cope with getting round this first corner. 18.9, so another consistent lap time there for the Raspberry Del Inferno team. I did spend all season learning how to say that last year. I think I finally nailed it. Spanish is not one of the languages I can speak. 16.9, there we go. That's more like it. 16.9, just squeaking in under 17 seconds there. That was a good fourth lap. So check out what you did in that lap, guys. And that was spot on, whatever you did. This is just sticking to the green a little bit more now. This is good. 16.6, here we go. Now we're picking up. Just as your session's coming to the end as well, I think you might be able to squeeze in one more lap before Aaron gives a signal of doom from upstairs to say that that's the end. But that's looking much better. You've got two strategies here, George. Are you playing, the safe strategy for the first few laps and then really just cranking it up? 16.7, that's really good. That's looking really nice now. They're going to be ones to watch. This is very interesting to see how this plays out. Really sticking to the green there and through the S's. That's looking very good.
Robot 22.
Oh, just before we get through that lap. So that 16.8 will not count. But this was pretty good. So that was it. 3 laps of kind of very measured, slowly catchy monkey. And then all of a sudden, we're under 17 seconds for the final 4 laps. So that's very interesting. Completely different strategy from George and the team there. So that'll be interesting to see how that plays out when it comes to the racing. So I'm getting back to my little thing. We've got 2 robots left to go. I am getting ready at the speed of light now. I'm really organised. Shadowhawks I just scanned through last night. It's no 40. Oh well. Okay. I'm not sure then. They're not on my list for tonight. They may have missed the deadline for the code, which was last Friday. Was the deadline for this testing session.
Robot 74 is powered.
So as you can hear, Robot 74 is ready to go. So there's another deadline I think this Friday for next week's testing. Make sure you get get the base code back. If you don't have any time to put any code changes in, put the base code back. If we don't receive any code from you, we'll assume you're not running, and that's kind of how we run. Because last year we had a couple of people who just flat out refused to return code, and we switched the robot and it doesn't do anything. So for us, we have to make sure we receive that code from you, even if it's the base code with no changes. We don't assume base code. So you have to participate for us to put you in. So I don't know if that's a problem, but I'm kind of assuming that's what's happened. So let's go back to the spin view to introduce robot number 74. I think this is another new number for us. This is another new competitor, brand new Formula Pi. Here we have Lambda Pi Racing. Sorry for not putting a proper Lambda on the screen, but we don't have LaTeX in the old screen stuff. We probably could have done with proper writing. Anyway, they're from Bern and Hamburg, respectively. So that's part Switzerland, part German team. Good. So now we've got European cooperation going on here. this is exciting. So quite a lot of programming experience, but no Python. So this should be interesting to see how you get on. Are you sticking with Python? Are you going to another language? We'll be excited to see. But this is a new team for us, the Lambda Pi. Good luck. Hopefully you do well. So just sitting there waiting. I will radio up and say, light sequence when you're ready, please. And we'll get this underway. So this is the penultimate robot tonight going out, and then we will call it a day for today. Let's see how we get on. I might have whipped through the 2 minutes there. I tend to lose track of time quite a lot. Here we go. So green, red, green again. And we'll see whether that Lambda Pi can get away from the line. Oh, and they're off. There we go. So that was, I thought we were going to have a non-starter there, but we're going. Clearly using the engine modulation stuff to get some really slow movement going. But it appears that, oh, and then really fast backwards. And we're off. Oh, thinking about it. Wow, this is an interesting strategy. So 7 seconds to get to the first timing point. Scraping along the wall there. Hit the second timing point, 27 seconds. Tim's filming. There he is. Look, you see little Tim there on the left filming the robot. Oh, and our first upside down of tonight. Oh, flipping a lot. I hear the banging upstairs. Oof. Not sure what's happening here. Is this the curse of Tim Freeburn filming it? So there on the top left there is our local Antipodean. They're filming the upside down robot. Last night Georges asked if the robots perform differently upside down, much like the Yetiborgs. They were going to, but we didn't put the code in that would make them do that. So these monster borgs actually do perform the same the right way up as they do the wrong way up. You see what I mean? So you shouldn't notice too much difference when you're in the upside down. Because last year the upside down really made a difference. If you were stuck in that land, you can really see that the turning was just not there, and it just wasn't as quick as normal. I'm assuming Tim's tweeting that. You should be working. Get back to work. You can't listen. I should get on the radio and tell him to get back to work. Stop tweeting. We're all on Twitter in various different guises. So Tim there, who you can see looking around at the camera, is at Boblescu, BOHBLESKU. I'm at the Tufty. My name's Claire, and I'm on Twitter as well. That's Tufty with 2 eyes. And Aaron's not on Twitter. But you can speak to him over email. If you email us at info@formulapi.com, you will probably get through to Aaron.
74 time is up.
So that's it. Lambda Pi, I'm so sorry. That appears to not be working. You're sort of crawling around on the wall. But that's it. I'm going to have to call that a day whilst Aaron goes and retrieves the robot and tries not to trap his fingers. That's really difficult with the upside down robot. So here we go back to the start line where we're going to have our final competitors. So if I restart the timer, you can hear me stabbing all the buttons. So for the last time tonight, whilst I flick on my thing, better not delete. There we go. So many things for me to do. Right. So for the last time tonight, we have number 66.
Robot 66 is powered.
Who apparently I don't have a sheet for. We have a top from you. We know you're from Italy, judging by the flag, but I don't have a sheet for you with any information on, so I don't know your team name. I'm assuming it says HTP. What does that stand for? Who knows? But an entrant from Italy here. Please send back your registration form and let us know a bit more information about you so I can give you shout-outs whilst we're talking and whilst we're doing stuff. Please send that back to us. But still, great to have you with us. First Italian competitors. We've had a team from Spain, like I said, and you're the first ones from Italy, so good luck. I don't know what good luck is in Italian. Maybe that's a language I need to learn next. It's got a bit of French, bit of Spanish. Maybe we can do some Italian next. So they're warming up and limbering up. We give all the robots 2 minutes to load up the OS and the code. We called it 2 minutes because that's about, I think, 30 seconds more than it takes our code to load up the base library. So we've done that to enable people who've got more complicated systems, such as machine learning or kind of anything more complicated in different languages that we don't have a gauge on how long it'll take to load. Give them a bit of a chance to get loaded and get going. Like we had it last year, I think somebody did a Java version of the Formula Pi library. And that took a while to load, but it was still within the 2 minutes, but it was much more than the Python library that we provide. So yeah, that's why we have this 2 minutes at the start where we just faff about and talk a lot. And then eventually I'll say, please start the light sequencer when ready, up on the old radio. And then hopefully we'll get underway when we're close to going. But this is it, last one for tonight, testing. So we'll see how this goes. I'm getting the old chat window up to see how we go, because this is all kind of new for me with the old YouTube. Let's see how we do. So green, red, green, and then we'll be good to go. Last robot here for tonight. Let's see how they do. And they're off. Good start. Getting towards the corner a little bit slowly, but still working their way around the corner. Smooth turning. Have they got out? Yep, there we go. So they went a little bit wide in the first corner. Tim's filming again. There he is. Ooh, it's gone really close to him. Just to say thank you for driving. Thank you for being here. So let's see how this robot's doing. Number 66. Oh. Just making its way around slowly. Slow and steady is not a bad strategy, you know. If they avoid the crashes, you know, this could end up being the robot that wins if you go slow and steady. 42 seconds for the first lap there, so that's not the fastest time we've seen tonight, but still doing a lap, which is good. So we've got some good strategy going here. Tim's looking at the camera. There he is. And just making their way through the S's. This is a nice, calm way to finish off tonight. We're winding down. We're taking it easy now with this robot, with number 66. Tim is now moving back to his post at the table. You may be able to see the Australia sign in the background there that points to our local Australian. But they're just working their way around. Steady as she goes. It's looking good. But like I said, this could be a good strategy, because whilst everybody's crashing and throwing themselves about, just keeping it slow and steady and good lines might actually not be a bad strategy. And this is where it's kind of interesting to see everyone's different approaches to how they do this. Going hell for leather and for the fastest line might serve you well in some cases, but when there's a robot on that fastest line, what do? I know that the avoidance is a lot more possible.
Robot 66, time is up.
That's it. So 3 laps, all at the 40-second mark. So not quick, but steady. The control looked good there, so that's really nice that you got the good smooth control, but just not very quick. Really not cranking these monster balls up to their full potential. But that's kind of it for tonight. That's the end of proceedings. We've got all the testing out of the way that we were going to do tonight. Like I said, if you've got any questions or any queries, info@formulapi.com. Drop us an email. Let us know if you had any problems or if there are any issues with the stream or how it went. Please let us know. We really want to hear. Sorry for the slight lateness of starting tonight, and sorry for being a bit all over the place with the technology. But we'll get there. Next week should be a lot smoother. I may or may not be commentating on next week. We've kind of got to make a decision as to whether we're going to have commentary or not. Actually, let us know if you think it's worth doing, and if you like me having you talk to you, or rather you just have this in silence. I guess you've got the mute button. That's always there. Just feel free to use it. So that's it for tonight. I am going to play our sponsors message to say thank you very much to all the people that help us out. Along with the Kickstarters that's helped us fund this, the first one and the second one for the Monster Balls. We've got some lovely sponsors that have given us some money to help build the track and the cameras. Blogtrotter, making your RSS feed a piece of cake. Really good RSS feed aggregation service. Go and check them out, blogtrotter.com. We'd love to have you on there. IQ Audio, also a competitor this year in Formula Pi. They ran last night, but all of your audio needs for the Raspberry Pi, head over to them. They've got some great DAC add-on boards. Really good stuff. Go and find out from them what more you can do with audio. Mod My Pi, friends of Piborg, we all went out for dinner at the Pi Wars event. It was really good. Hot Packers, hi Hannah, hi Tristan if you're watching. Hope you're feeling better, Hannah, and it's good to see you on here again. They are a brewing collective from Canterbury, lots of good home brews and beer festivals, always good stuff to see from them. And finally from the Netherlands, SOS Solutions, a great Raspberry Pi buyer shop that you can get all your bits from. Go and check them out, please, sossolutions.com. If you'd like to sponsor us in the future, info@formulapi.com, that address that I keep banging on about. Drop us an email if you'd like to sponsor us. If you'd like to have a bit more information about what went on tonight, there are a couple of queries from ISSFTW. Please drop us an email, ask those questions to Aaron and Tim over email, and they will get back to you. So to everyone else, thank you very much. We will speak to you next week. Monday, I think, is the next test. So if you want to take part in... Is it Monday? Tim's looking at me with a confused face. Oh, Monday's a bank holiday. Oh, so I get a day off. Oh, that's nice. So we're probably not doing Formula Pi on that Monday. I will go to the websites and check out. The website has all the dates you need, which is www.formulapi.com. And the next test... Oh, it's just got those event dates there. The next test is on the 3rd of May, which is a Wednesday. So that'll be a week today. And the submission deadline for that testing session is tomorrow. So please, if you haven't put any code back and you wondered why you haven't seen your robot, you still need to return the base code library to us. We will not run any robots if we do not receive any code. We really need that from you. So please, even if you just send the base code back, please send us something. Otherwise, we will not run you. We will assume you are not participating. So make sure you get the code back to us by Friday. Tim's pointing a finger at me, which always means I've done something wrong or he has something to say. So please carry on.
In case you haven't checked the rules, even if you have submitted code for testing round 0, you will still need to submit code again for testing round 1. We won't just use your existing code for the next round. You will need to resubmit.
Right. So I guess a good thing to do, Mr. Timothy Freeburn, would be to put this in an email. So we will put this in an email, we'll send it to all competitors, we'll reiterate that again so it's not just on the video. So send us your code. Basically, the TLDR is send us your code. And we will see you next week, Wednesday the 5th of May. Deadline is tomorrow for your code, so get sending the stuff off to us. And thank you very much for watching tonight. Thank you very much for taking the time out to come and sit and watch us. And we will see you next week. Thank you very much. Let me work out how to quit the feed. I still haven't worked that out properly. I don't know what I'm doing. I found the stop button now. Love you all. Bye.